Okay, here we go. It's going to be our run. We're going down this way, making our way toward the waterfront. Gee, when I run by myself, I know right where to go. We're going to go through this neighborhood first because it's actually easier at the beginning of our run to go this way because of the few roads to cross. On the way back, I don't mind going the way where I have to stop a lot because then I'm tired. So don't worry, I won't be videotaping this for the whole hour. But it's probably bumpy. I don't know how to make it so that it's not bumpy. This area here is the Claddagh, and years ago, like many years ago, it was outside of the old city walls, and it was all poor fishermen and their families that lived here. And of course now there's no city walls to be on the outside of, and it's virtually in the city center. It's very close to the prom that we'll be running on, and sure, it's very desirable property now. Plus, it has parking, which is a big deal in Galway. Cars, I've got to look every which way. I was used to where the cars were coming from before I spent 3 weeks in Italy, and since they drive on the right side of the street in Italy now, I'm kind of reconfused again. It's not that exciting of a neighborhood. We're coming, you can see that brightening there in the distance. We're coming soon to the prom, the promenade that goes down along the Galway Bay. It's really a great run. It's really flat. So that's why I'm taking you this way. A lot of times I go up Taylor Hill and then come down the end of the prom and run the last 3 miles or so on the flat, but I know you hate hills, so we're going the flat way today. There's the ocean. The land that you see in the distance is part of the Burren from County Clare, which is south of us. The Galway Bay comes in really far, and so that is not an east-west orientation like I thought it was. So for a while I thought maybe these were islands or something like that, or I was looking at Inishmore or something, but I don't even think I'm that close to Inishmore. No, I was just making it up. You can feel that wind in our faces, and here we're coming out on Grattan Terrace, and we've bypassed kind of a mile and a half from downtown, and I don't know if you can see it out there. There's a lighthouse, and that's a long run in and of itself. That adds a whole extra mile out there. But here we go. Here's the wind in my face. I will say that living here in Galway, I've come to appreciate the blessing of may the wind always be at your back. Now I know why that was so important, because it is windy here. But again, it's better to go this way with the wind in the face than and come back with the wind in your back. Here, I'm going to cross click here. Get on the side. It's like the tide is out. There's houses over here. Still part of the Claddagh, I think. Right on its ends. And then straight ahead is Salt Hill. There's a little tower. Like tall buildings there. That's Salt Hill. For some reason they have casinos there. It's like, that's what I want to do on my vacation, is let's go gamble. But maybe out to each their own. I'm sure, like everything else, it's poor people looking for a break. Yesterday was sunnier, but this is a more realistic day in Galway. I didn't have my iPod with me. This is here. This is the Celia Griffin Children's Park. They just put this up almost since I got here. Dedicated to a little girl who died in 1847 during the famine. But let's not think of sad things like a famine. Let's just think of running on Galway Bay. Mess. The sidewalk is really sandy, and you can see all the mud and stuff. They've had so many storms, and the ocean, there's a video online, the ocean just comes crashing over, and these areas over here have been flooded a couple of times just since I've been here. Apparently it's one of the wettest winters in history. Maybe all over Europe. It's certainly been miserable here, but luckily like the last flood. I was in Italy, so I missed it. And the one before, my friend Anya and I were laughing because there was this big giant storm and there was a big flood and down here, and I don't know if I'll still be taping by then because this is probably really boring. But anyhow, look how far out the tide is. Wow. Way out in the distance there, that's the west. That's the opening to the sea. And then this is what's behind us all. I don't know, I don't really know how good this comes out on this little recorder, but anyhow. So Anya and I were out on this other gal too that I met in the walking club. We went and had dinner, and then we went to a late night pub, and I don't know, we got home like really late, like 2 or 3 in the morning. And the next day Anya called and said, oh my gosh, there was a big storm last night, and this whole area got flooded, and all these cars got all crashed together. They were in the parking lot, and it was all this damage, and we were kind of laughing because we had completely missed it because we were inside drinking. Oh. Anyhow, so of course right now I'm not drinking at all. I'm swearing off for a while because Italy was crazy. And last night there, our tour guide, whose family owns a winery in Orvieto, Tuscany, we had our last dinner together. She brought all this wine from her winery, which was really good, but I had 2 different kinds of white wine, 2 different kinds of red wines. We had like a different glass of wine with every course, and then a dessert wine, and I have to say it didn't sit well with me. I got back and woke up around 1 o'clock in the morning. My stomach was really upset, and I could just feel all that wine just ugh. Anyhow, so last night out at the step dancing, I drank 1 little glass of wine, and I was just drinking water. So it's just we'll see. Anyhow, I think you've probably turned this off by now, so you can't take any more. But here's the sign. You can go back to the air square. So I guess they're considering we're not even at the prom yet because the prom doesn't start proper until you get to Salt Hill. But it's a really great run, isn't it? And it's not too windy today. It's better than some days where you feel like running is resistance training. So here we go. I don't know, 13 minutes. Probably done a mile by now. And you're probably feeling nauseous from the camera bouncing around. And there we are. View from Galway Bay. I'll record some more stuff later. Bye.